Hey guys, it's Foxdrop here with my Season 3 updated Shaco guide. Now my Season 2 Shaco guide is actually still really relevant outside of my mastery page and my item build. So this video here is only going to be revamping, updating the items and the mastery pages. So if you're watching this video to try and learn Shaco from scratch, I suggest you watch my other video first and then check out this one afterwards. So for your masteries, when you're playing as Shaco, you want to be going very offensive. So you either want to be going 21-9-0, or you can go 21-6-3, or even 21-0-9. If you go 21-6-3, that just makes use of the mana regen a bit in the utility, because if you are new to Shaco, then you can have mana issues. It does happen, so you can take that if you prefer. And you can go 21-0-9 just for like the general. The utility tree is pretty good for Shaco, so like the move speed, the mana regen, summon spell cooldown reduction, and the extra buff duration times, which are very good. But what I like to run 21-9-0, and the reason I like to run that is in defensive, so the 9 points in defensive, as you're seeing here, I get this bladed armor, and this is pretty much the bladed armor and veteran scars are the two reasons why I like the defensive tree. And bladed armor it just helps with your AoE clear, because Shaco does not clear very quickly as far as AoE goes. Before he gets items, especially before he gets attack speed, he's actually not that fast a clearer anyway, but especially when it comes to the AoE stuff, he just doesn't have it. And the mini creeps nowadays are so weak that this bladed armor does so much damage. You'll probably only need one basic attack combined with this and you'll kill all of the mini creeps, at least for Wraith Camp especially. And 21 points in offense. So what you want to be getting in this skill tree, there are a few masteries which are really important. Now Summoner's Wrath is actually very good for Shaco, because you either want to be running Ghost, Ignite or Exhaust. All of these are good, and Summoner's Wrath makes all of these even better. So your Exhaust, you're shredding 10 armor and magic resist from the target, which is really good, especially early on. That accounts to a lot of shred. It's really nice. And you do magic damage with your E, you do magic damage with your W. When your clone blows up, that does magic damage, and certain items in your build, which you'll see later on, also do magic damage. So you get a lot of use out of that magic resist shred, as well as obviously the armor shred because of your basic attacks. Now this stuff is pretty straightforward. I choose to go sorcery instead of butcher. You can take butcher if you prefer, but I like the CDR because with Shaco's kit, CDR is very nice. The amount of times you escape with like a deceive because it's just come off cooldown or something like that, it's really nice, so I like that. This stuff is pretty straightforward, so I don't really need to explain it. Along with the brute force, sunder and executioner, they're very straightforward stuff. But these two deserve an honourable mention: lethality and frenzy. So why I choose to take these two, or why these two are so good on Shaco, is that lethality, so the increased critical strike damage, which is increased by 10%, this increases the damage of your deceive. Your deceive does extra damage if you have this. Now at level 1, when I tested this out, your deceive does something like, with my runes set up, it was like 85 damage. I took this and then it did 88 damage. So I mean, it works really well with your deceive. And also when you get a static shiv, which is what you'll be seeing later with the item build page, when you get static shiv, this also increases the damage your shiv does too. So it's a very nice mastery to have. And also it builds into, or like it's required for frenzy, and this is really nice on Shaco. The biggest reason is because this procs when you deceive. When you deceive and attack something, you do like a special crit. It doesn't do as much damage as a normal crit. At rank 1 it does 140% of a basic attack damage, and a normal crit does 200%, and then that goes up by 20% each rank. So, but this procs off of your deceive. You crit them, and then you get 10% attack speed for 2 seconds after you come out of your deceive. So it synergizes so well with that Shaco kit. You jump out, you crit them, and then you've instantly got this DPS boost right here to be taking them down. So that pretty much explains why my mastery page and what I prefer to run. So for the item builder when you're playing Shaco, in Season 3 there were some new items introduced, and two of these items especially are very good for Shaco, and that is the Bladed Rune King and the Static Shiv. But before I go into details for that, what I usually start with, a typical item build and item route for me, when I play Shaco, I will be starting with Machete and 5 health potions. That's just a standard start for junglers. Then I get a Madress, which helps me clear faster, and after that, I rush Moby Boots. I really like Moby Boots and Shaco because they help you with your pressure around the map, because you're just running around everywhere. You're just in everyone's faces, so it really helps with that. And also, Moby Boots and Stealth synergize really nicely together, because when you're Stealth, the faster you move, then the further distance you cover, which is basically, if you think about it, it's basically increasing the duration of that Stealth. And it also really helps with your lane ganking, which is a really effective way to be ganking when you are playing Shaco. And don't forget to be buying loads of potions as well. The new jungle tends to beat up junglers quite a lot, especially people with no sustain, so Shaco is a bit of a victim when it comes to jungle bullying by the creeps themselves, so potions really help. And also, don't be afraid to buy 1 or 2 mana potions. If you have a particularly aggressive passage of play, then you'll be using a lot of your mana, and you will be needing those mana potions. And also, once you hit level 6, you should be able to solo dragon, and so make sure you have a pink ward ready for when that happens. But outside of all of that, and outside of your boots, if you don't want to get Moby Boots, you can get Berserker Greaves, but you can also get Ninja Tabby or Merc Treads. They're not bad options also. But the big items, the 2 core items on Shaco that I suggest you get, Blade of the Ruined King for starters is just a really good item on Shaco. This item is just, I built this in every single game since the update of Blade of the Ruined King, since it got changed, and it's just, there are no downsides to this item. I really love this. It's the perfect Shaco item, truly, it is. And the reasons for that is that you get sustain, which is something Shaco lacks innately, and that's really helpful for jungling. You get attack speed, which is great for split pushing. It's also really good for 1v1ing, and also you have an on hit, which procs off your clone, so you do percentage health damage off every basic attack, and so does your clone. And as if you didn't need any more reasons, the active is godly. It's like it was built for Shaco. In all seriousness, it's just crazy strong on Shaco. When you steal their move speed, no one's getting away from you. You can secure pretty much any kill. You can 1v1 any character in the game as soon as you get your Blade of the Ruined King, 9 times out of 10, just because it's that good an item. It really is, and the health steal is great as well. That'll save your ass on a couple of occasions. And outside of Blade of the Ruined King, so after you got that item, I suggest you get a Static Shiv. The reason why I like Static Shiv is because it helps your split pushing because of the on hit. So when it procs, you get the Chain Lightning, that helps you take down minion waves. It synergizes pretty well with Blade of the Ruined King as well, because it gives you attack speed, and obviously whenever things have an on hit, then the more attack speed you have, the more you'll be proccing that on hit, and so the more damage it will do. And the Shiv gives you a nuke with your Q, because if you have, with the on hit, with the proc, when you go into attack, you just get an upfront burst damage, which is really nice. And also your Static Shiv actually scales with your Deceive, so it's your Static Shiv scales with crit damage, amplification, so things like Infinity Edge, things like the Lethality Mastery, which gives you 10% extra crit damage, and also your Deceive, which gives you extra crit damage. It all scales with your Static Shiv, and so when you Deceive and hit someone, and your Static Shiv procs off your Deceive, off that basic attack, your Shiv crits. So instead of doing, when I tested this, instead of doing 100 damage, I did 150 damage coming out of my Deceive. So that amplification in damage is almost broken when it comes to using it on Shaco. So that's why I really like Static Shiv. And also after that item build, outside of those 2 items, it's pretty situational from there on out for me. Usually most games I'll get 1, maybe 2 health items, defensive items. All the items you're seeing now work really well on him. But just some examples: Bulwark is great, Locket is great, the shield also works with your clone too, or a good old fashioned Warmogs, Frozen Mallet, sorry, you can't go wrong with as well for the perma-slow. But after 1 health item, outside of those defensive items, I get a very offensive build on Shaco, and all of the items you're seeing now are great. Shaco can build a lot of offensive items, but Infinity Edge is great. If you get the cash and you can get Infinity Edge, it increases the damage your Static Shiv does. You just do crazy damage with it. It's a really nice overall item. Mercurial Scimitar is good as well, because it gives you the sash, and if Shaco gets CC'd, he's pretty fucked. So if you have sash, that's really good. And you can also like sash away the exhaust, the ignites, which will be coming down onto if you carry dive. when you're team fighting, and it does give you a little speed boost as well, so that's a nice item too. Yuumu's is good because of the active. You pop your Blade the Rune King, you pop your Yuumu's, and you can take down a squishy in a few seconds when it comes. It's great to it. It's a really, really good item. But like I said, all the items you're seeing are very, very good. So that's all for this updated guide. Thanks for watching, guys, and like me on Facebook. If you did like this guide, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and you can ask me any questions about Shaco you wish in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more of these guides, more of these videos, and come check out my channel. I have a few Shaco gameplays there which you'll probably enjoy watching. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video.